All right, hey everyone, we're here at the Atari Press event, and I'm joined by Ian Stevens with Tygon Studios, and we're talking about the Chronicles of Riddick, Assault on, finish the game title for me.
Dark Athena.
Assault on Dark Athena, of course. Now, Ian, this is, it's been a long time coming. This was initially going to be a remake of Escape from Butcher Bay, but it's become so much more, right?
Yeah, our initial release about a year and a half ago was that we were making a remake with a little bit of added content and some multiplayer, and then we went dark on the PR front, and in that time the scope of this game has ballooned out an awful lot. So now we have a remake that's even greater in scope than it was originally ever meant to be, in addition to a whole new fully featured campaign that's as large as the original game was, and then some multiplayer. So the volume of content has become enormous.
Let's set this up. So people who don't know who Riddick is, don't know the original game, what are we doing in this game? Who are we playing as?
Right. So in Escape from Butcher Bay, Riddick is a prisoner that was brought to the most notorious triple max prison in the entire galaxy by a rather famous mercenary, Johns, Cole Hauser's character from Pitch Black. And throughout the course of that game, Riddick is looking to escape, and he's the only guy that ever has and ever would, right? So Assault on Dark Athena takes place directly after that game. So literally, we end Butcher Bay, Riddick and Johns are flying off in their ship, they've put themselves in cryo sleep and they're heading off to places unknown, and the Athena captures them. Riddick manages to wake himself, Johns does not. So your buddy, well, maybe not your buddy, but that antagonist gets taken away while Riddick is left to find out where he is and what he's going to do.
Of course, a badass like Riddick is going to cause lots of trouble, get into lots of fights. But one of the things that's interesting about this game is that there's so many different ways to approach combat and solving problems in this game, correct?
Right. So in Escape from Butcher Bay, we were a genre hybrid, right? So we took a lot of different gameplay elements and worked them together to create this experience that kept gameplay constantly shifting. Yet it was a very linear thing. We decided when you were going to fight and when you were going to shoot and when you needed to stealth. And with Assault on Dark Athena, we've moved that function forward, and so now players can have some choice about how they approach different obstacles or how they move through certain parts of the levels, and so we involve them in that design decision this time around.
Lots of cool things I've seen in the demo. Give us an idea of what you're showing today.
So today we're showing some of the very early levels from Assault on Dark Athena, particularly the first level and then another level that I think is about 4 in. And those levels just do a great job of demonstrating some of the key characters in this new storyline, like the ghost drones, as well as some of the variety in gameplay that we've escalated and brought to this new chapter, on top of how we've taken that gameplay from the original game, and we've really had like 4 years to polish that, and add to it and add new features to those mechanics, and so they do a great job of illustrating.
So let's talk a little bit in a larger scale. When going back to the original game, developing all of the new content, and taking a look back at Escape from Butcher Bay, what lessons did you guys learn? Things, maybe some little improvements that you wanted to make in the original game, and lessons you learned when developing the new content.
Right. Well, I think the biggest message we got from people was that we'd done something right. And so in moving into Assault on Dark Athena, we felt a strong urge not to change things too much, at least in terms of maintaining the spirit of what that game was and those sort of elements that were really appealing to people. And then I think we learned some pretty hard lessons about the intuitive nature of certain parts of these games. Puzzles can't be too easy, but they certainly have to be obvious. Players have to be able to find out where they need to go and what they have to do. And so making a game accessible, not necessarily easy to play, but easy to understand, is a big part of our philosophy, not just moving into this new game, but also the darkness. We took a lot of those lessons learned into that very next product as well.
And it's important to mention, as you mentioned to me, that improvements that you've made are across throughout the game. So even AI improvements you'll see even in Escape from Butcher Bay, correct?
That's right. So anything that we've done in Assault on Dark Athena to polish or modify those gameplay mechanics, anything we've done with the AI, it's all retroactive into our remake. So you'll see guards and mercs doing things in EFBB that they never did in the original game, and not even in the PC director's cut that we did.
We can't wait to learn about it. But of course, the one final thing to learn about, do you have a release date yet?
Yeah, spring '09, which is somewhat vague, but it'll be here before you know it. We really can't wait to get it in people's hands. We're pretty community driven as a group of partners, so if people love this game, it tells us we need to go and make more.